YHM Turbo K review by Gun Talk and the three of us who are all friends. It's a K can made by a company
called Yankee Hill Machine.
and it's a short can.
Where are they from?
K for Kurtz.
Like Boston or something.
East Hampton, MA. I don't know where that is.
That's from your ma.
Is that Europe?
I think it's like Minnesota somewhere.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
V1 and V2. V1 has a regular end cap. V2 has a flash hider end cap, and it makes there be a little bit less flash.
Does it really though?
A little bit, not
Really?
a lot. A little bit, not a lot. It doesn't. I mean, it has to do something. Look at it.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
what
it
is
wouldn't
it
look
for?
like that.
Looks pretty. Looks sick, dude. Look
It does
at that.
also.
It does look cool.
It does look
Look at
cooler.
that.
It also looks cooler. I think that they only sell the V2 now. So if you're watching this in the present rather than the past, this one's your only option. So we're talking about this one mostly. For
Maybe
you.
they've come out with the V3 by the time.
But they're basically the
Yeah.
same. Why are we making this video? Because you guys have seen us shooting with these suppressors a lot in other videos, and you keep saying, can you make a review on those YHM Turbo Ks? And guess what? Here it f***ing is. As you can see, they both survived. They're both durable cans.
After being thrown on carpet. The ultimate test.
These bad boys are super cheap, which is pretty sick. They're like 350-ish bucks.
As far as suppressors go, they're super cheap.
Yeah, plus a $200 tax stamp, obviously, for reasons.
Yeah.
And while I think these should be like 30 bucks at the hardware store, these are probably the cheapest suppressors you can get that work.
Why did you guys choose Turbo Ks?
They're cheap.
Yeah, because it was cheap. So, why would you want a little fairly inexpensive K-can? I don't know.
Yeah, why?
Why?
I just bought it. I didn't really think about it.
Because even on these shorter barrel rifles that we're generally running them on, as you can see, this 10.3 is still very short. It's very handy, and this can, it's not making it silent. It's not an assassin's weapon, but it takes the edge off. It makes it way more pleasant to shoot around your friends. It makes it way more pleasant just to shoot by yourself. You don't ever feel like you need to double up on ear pro to not go deaf. If you had to shoot without ear protection in a building, you probably would not immediately go deaf, and you'd be able to maintain a little bit of that hearing, a little bit of that situational awareness. So all in all, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I was actually running the full-size resonator for a while, and I got the Turbo K, and I mostly run this. The benefits of a full-size can, you get much better flash suppression, better sound suppression, but it's heavier, it's longer.
I mean, the more you shoot it without ears, the quieter it gets, so.
Yeah. That's
There you
big
go.
brain thinking right there.
Big brain thinking right there. That's,
Who gives a fuck about
that's
decibels
the
or whatever?
log off Reddit and go to the range type thinking that we like.
You're so smart.
Yeah. I mean, this is not the best can for flexing on the internet, but what's better, flexing on the internet or flexing on people at the range with your skills?
Internet. I have them all.
It's stuck on IR. Oh, there we go. Got it unstuck.
What would you say that the Turbo K does for the gassing of the guns?
Nothing.
If
It
your
doesn't change
rifle
anything.
is already overgassed, with a can, it's going to be even more overgassed. If your rifle is properly gassed with a can, you're going to notice a little bit more gas, but it's not going to be a huge issue, and you don't need an adjustable gas block to run these. This rifle It has a 10.3 inch barrel with a .070 gas port, and it runs fine, both suppressed and unsuppressed. There's not really gas in the face or anything like that. Why would you want to even have a suppressor? They get hot when you shoot. They make your gun heat up faster. They make your gun gassier. Why would you want that? What are the benefits of having a suppressor?
Well, you get some signature reduction.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that when you are doing tactics against Dakota Meyer,
Yep.
you get less flash.
Right.
Right? They can't hear you.
They don't know where it's coming from.
They don't know where it's coming from while you're doing the tactics and camouflage. And that's it.
Could you possibly say that suppressors will save your life?
No.
That would be hyperbolic.
No, CPR will.
Having a suppressor, you're going to have far less signature than having a muzzle brake, a compensator, even a flash hider. It's going to be quieter. You're going to have less muzzle flash. It's going to just conceal your position so much better when you're LARPing.
Durability, durability. A lot of people will say that super cheap cans won't be durable enough, that you'll just break them, etc., ad nauseum.
It's just gonna break.
But that is kind of counter to what we found. We've shot these a lot, and they haven't blown off the end of a gun.
Yeah.
They haven't failed in any way, so...
We haven't noticed that they negatively affect accuracy in any way either. Haven't really seen any point of impact shift.
Mine does shoot slightly lower with that, but it's a measurable, consistent point of impact shift.
So, don't listen to the haters, fam.
I haven't been shooting as much because of the whole ammo thing, but you know, still been shooting a decent bit, and we've put a lot of rounds through both of these cans.
Well,
and
it's not like he was shooting anymore.
You can't see it obviously, but looking in there, the blast baffle looks the same as it did out of the box, just way dirtier. So they seem to be holding up pretty well.
And 5,000 rounds is not a ton for these suppressors. So, but at some point they are going to die. So I would say that suppressors are not a lifelong purchase, which is one of the reasons I got a Turbo K. They're cheap.
Well, it depends on if you're shooting or if you're collecting.
True, yeah.
So which is it?
Which is it? You decide right now. Decide.
Mounting. Let's talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to YHM cans. The YHM mounts kind of blow.
It's like
so
an inch.
There is that. It adds a large chungus to the back of the can unless you buy the Kurtz kit, which makes it small, but then you have to run like, imagine this muzzle brake right here, but just cut it off right at the first port, and then that's what you would have underneath. And then you would be ashamed to ever take the can off. So as you can hear, it's like sort of ratchets on there. The mounts are pretty ugly too. That's also a negative. And there's this little spring-loaded collar on them with tabs, and it ratchets on there. And sometimes it doesn't ratchet on all the way, and you have to like really fiddle with it.
Did yours actually go on the first try?
Yes, it goes on like good right now. We've had mounts come out of the box, and you can torque it on there as hard as you want, but then you still have to grab the collar and fiddle with it to get it to really lock in place. So that's definitely, it's negative to consider about the YHM cans. However, these Turbo Ks, the can itself is threaded, and then the mount threads into it, so you could use a different mount, like whatever you want. I don't know. What are the other mounts? Like ASR?
Dead Air, Chemo,
Yeah,
ASR,
yeah.
Plan B.
Yeah, so you could use
Direct thread.
whatever
No,
mount.
that's-
Maybe you already have a mounting system that you're invested in. You could swap it to that, and then you're good to go. Or you could pick something that you like better. We're just still running the YHM mounts because it comes with a muzzle brake in the package, and it's cheap and it does still work. So if it works, I mean, yeah, it's fine. It's good enough.
We need to reiterate just how ugly the YHM mounts
It's
are.
so ugly.
They're so ugly.
They're so ugly. The flash hiders are possibly even uglier. Also, don't pin and weld the YHM mounts because, well, I mean, you can, but eventually you're going to have to unpin and weld it because they are the wear part.
Yeah, this one's already starting to wear out.
That's the wear part right there.
And I don't know if it's the design or what, but I have like 3 or 4 different mounts, and some of the mounts go on perfectly first try.
They all fit slightly different.
Some
There
don't.
seems to be some sort of variance there.
So,
however, we haven't had any baffle strikes or any launched cans or anything, so they do seem to work.
How does it feel?
how does it feel?
Yeah, so
It feels like a suppressed gun.
yeah, we can talk a lot about, oh, is the Turbo K cost effective? Like, why did we pick it? Does it sound good? What does it feel like to shoot with the Turbo K? How does it sound to our ears?
Even without Ear Pro, if you're like 20 feet away, it's honestly not that bad.
Yeah.
One night when we were shooting, there was a car in between me and the Turbo K, and I didn't have my ears on, and it was totally fine.
Yeah. It really takes the edge off a lot.
I'm also deaf.
Basically, once you start shooting suppressed, you're gonna probably not really want to shoot unsuppressed after that because
It's polite. It's
it
refined.
just is so much more pleasant of an experience to shoot with a can and not have just super loud awfulness, especially on short-barreled guns.
Well,
It does change the recoil impulse a little bit. You do get a little bit more coming back in your shoulder because there's a little bit more gas coming back, but it's really not a huge deal. Again, if your gun is already well gassed, you're really not going to notice a huge difference.
this gun is pretty overgassed, and depending on which suppressor I put it on, it feels kind of like a wet noodle sometimes. The recoil impulse really changes.
Yeah, it's a very strange recoil impulse with that gun. When you've got a can on there, it feels sort of like, I don't know, it feels like you're wrestling a wet blanket.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it. And I'm not really going to try and explain that any better. If you know, you know.
I do have a girlfriend.
Another thing about shooting suppressed is it changes a lot of things. So the gun gets dirtier.
It does.
The thing gets hotter more. You have to think about like the hot a lot. And then there's dirt in it.
Yeah, your gun does get a lot dirtier. You'll notice when you start shooting suppressed that you'll take a mag out and there's just poo-poo doo-doo all over the rounds in there. Your windowed P-mags, the window will start to get tinted. It'll be nice, like, and smoked, you know, like your
Like your Honda Civic.
Civic, like your Tahoe.
We're doing feelies right now.
Feelies.
How do you feelies about a cannies?
It's nice.
It's nice to have it.
Especially like at dusk or at night. There's way less shit just fucking blowing out your retinas.
Also, if you have night vision, it's much nicer to shoot suppressed under night vision because it's not auto-gating your tube all the way down every time you fire, like with the big open muzzle brake it does. Even like something like a war comp can auto-gate your tube quite a bit. Even like an A2 flash hider can produce enough flash to gate your tube down, especially on a short gun.
Also gotta say the K can on an SBR, definitely not the quietest thing, but it's a pretty sweet setup, I think.
It's a pretty cool aesthetic, right? Show them yours.
Show them your Final thoughts for me on the Turbo K. It's a really cost-effective can. I almost got one, but then I would have had to change all my mounts because I'm too lazy, and the adapter was a little bit expensive. It would have made up the difference of cost. I definitely think they're good. And
So what did you buy
good
instead?
value. I got a Saker 5.56K.
Is it good?
But he got it because he liked K-cans. Do you like how the Turbo K V2 looks?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. You're
Or
weird.
any of the Turbo Ks? Again, like it's got like these weird little ridges right
They're
here.
bullets.
They're
They're bullets.
They're bullets.
They might be bullets. They might have like.
You'll be
machined
real
little
disappointed
bullets
when you figure out that that's what they are.
into the can.
Do you have a Punisher skull tattoo? Get a Yankee Hill.
It matches.
It's
so,
your aesthetic.
Yep.
yeah.
That's your vibe, bro.
So I mean, that's definitely not the biggest plus, but like, it's a 10-footer can. and it sounds okay, and it's relatively affordable. And you know what? At the end of the day, we like them pretty good. So if you're thinking about getting a Turbo K, I'd say go for it.
I gotta say the same thing. If you're trying to flex on the internet, the Turbo K is definitely not the way to go.
Yeah.
If you want a suppressor that you're gonna shoot out eventually, get the Turbo K.
Yeah, if you just want an affordable can so you can build your skills shooting while protecting your hearing, you're not
And
spending
not
a ton
getting
on
a
the
cop's call
can,
on you.
you can buy more ammo, you can shoot more. That's great. I'd say that the Turbo K is definitely something that you should go for.
Patreon.
Patreon.
Oh shit.
So,
We
Are terrible at this.
barely make videos. We have jobs.
Yep.
We have lives. There's 3 of us. That's
Yep.
3 jobs and 3 lives.
That's 3 schedules that have to gather like
They need
into
to
one,
hump.
into one.
You can't even scissor.
You can't even 3 schedules into one. So that's you guys keep telling us make more videos. We're working
trying.
on it. We're working on it.
So this is a reminder that the Patreon exists.
You can
And-
go there and give us money.
Yeah, and if you've been giving us money and you forgot about it,
don't
please do not.
remember.
Please don't remember.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Anyway, so yeah. Thank you, Patreons, for your support. It's patreon.com/gunthoughts if you would like to give us money. It's no pressure.
Nope.
Also, ski masks are in stock right now on gunthoughts.com.
Is anything else in stock on gunthoughts.com?
No, just ski masks. Get them right now. I don't think we can use that.
I think we can use 50% of what we've done so
Super
far.
bleed.
What is the Turbo K? It's a suppressor. It's a K can. It's about that big.
It's like that big, I would say.
Do you think it's
probably.
that big?
Well, it's like
I
at
was
least
like
6
that
inches, so it's this big.
What if there's a car going down the road and there's 5 people with suppressors and 1 person without a suppressor, and the car has to decide which way to go?
Well,
You
I
try
would-
and hit all
If
6.
I were driving the car, I would obviously run over the person without a suppressor because they've got nothing to live for. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Whoever
Imagine-
said that suppressors can't be identities are wrong.
Seriously, we have to shoot in the woods a lot,
Yeah.
and sometimes we are shooting at night and we don't want to be bothered. So
Right.
it's better to use a suppressor
Right.
and not annoy people, and
Yes.
then have the sheriff come.
Because we're being good
'Cause we're
stewards
being
of the
good
forest.
boys. Yeah.
good stewards of the forest.
Yep,
Hashtag
like-
good stewards of the forest. Good stewards of the forest shirt coming soon.
What do you think costs
I'm a
more,
stamp
just collecting stamps or buying a new suppressor every 10,000 rounds?
Well, you can buy like one
What
of
do you
the
think
high-end
costs
suppressors
more?
for 2 Turbo Ks with stamps.
Porn addiction or prostitute addiction?
Neither of those things are bad.
Meth addiction.
Meth addiction.
You think that costs the most?
Although I heard
Actually, there's like a cycle there because you have the
Yeah.
meth addiction on one side, which fuels the prostitute addiction,
Which fuels
goes,
the porn
because
addiction.
you run out of money.
Yeah, and so then you have to
Yeah.
watch the porn because you're still horny all the time, and then you get more money. So
Bonk.
you're like meth time, and then you're like, oh, I'm on meth, so I'll do a crime, and now you have lots of money. So then you're like prostitute time, and then you're just right back in that vicious cycle.
Wow.
Shit,
It's time that we had more awareness of that.
shit.
the meth, prostitute, porn addiction cycle. It's
Yeah.
real, guys, and if you're struggling with it, you can do the
This
thing.
is a safe space.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down below if you struggle with meth, porn, prostitute addiction,
The M&P.
because it is a sensitive issue, and we are here for you.
Yep. We don't have any resources, but we're here for you.
Yeah,
We'll
and
read your comment.
Yep.
another thing about shooting suppressed is
Okay, one more thing, you guys. If your upper doesn't have a forward assist, you might think that you are an intellectual, but actually you are not capable of forming your own sophisticated thoughts on your own. Thank you. Goodbye.
like an octopus.
They're really smart.
Oh, fuck, really
the
small
koala
brain.
has one of the lowest ratios of brain to body mass of any mammal.
Yeah.
Even though koalas are dumb,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
They are, so bottom line, koalas are dumb.
They're also
Established.
addicts.
You've got a koala brain.
You're a koala.
Sorry.